Okay, good morning. Call the November 12th, 2024 Corrections Policy Committee meeting to order. So before we get started, I'll read the administrative announcement. The Corrections Policy Committee, for the Corrections Policy Committee, excuse me, this is a public meeting subject to public meeting law and it will be digitally recorded. Deliberation of issues will only be conducted by the Corrections Policy Committee members unless permitted by the chair. Remember to always state your name for the record. For cases dealing with denial or revocation, only information contained in the staff report can be considered once the staff report is adopted. Assumptions, outside knowledge, and personal experiences should not be included in any discussion. Individuals who engage in disruptive behavior that impedes official business will be asked to stop being disruptive or leave the meeting. Additional measures may be taken to have disruptive individuals removed if their continued presence poses a safety risk to the room or makes it impossible to continue the meeting. And let's do introductions. Erica, do you want to just, are you going to read?
Yes, I was going to
Okay.
read off the introductions. When I call on you, please state your name and who you're representing for the record. Chair English.
Good morning, Matt English, Hood River County Sheriff representing Oregon State Sheriff's Association.
Vice Chair Cameron.
Jennifer Cameron representing non-management, call and probation.
Member Aldridge.
Josh Aldridge, Jackson County Sheriff's Office, representing the Oregon State Sheriff's Association Field Command Council.
Member Boren.
I'm Mark Warren, representing public.
Member Frasco.
Lori Frasco, Department of Corrections and AFSCME.
Member Hartford.
Mike Hartford, McLean County Sheriff's Office, representing Oregon Association of Community Corrections Directors.
Member Hunter.
Good morning, Nick Hunter, Marin County Sheriff's Office, representing the OSSA.
Member Mays.
Good morning, Officer Mays, representing non-management, Oregon Department of Corrections.
Designee Stephen.
Brian Steffen, Chief Security for Department of Corrections, representing Director Mike Reese.
And Member Reyes.
Aaron Reyes, Superintendent, Two Rivers Correctional Institution, representing the Oregon Department of Corrections.
And then now for staff introductions. I'll go first. Juan Lopez, Executive Assistant, DPSST.
Criminal Justice Support Specialist, DPSST.
Cindy Park, DPSST.
Melissa Langbacho, Professional Standards Case Coordinator at DPSST. Kathy Fink, DPSST.
Kevin Calvine, DPSST.
Jennifer Howell, DPSST.
San Antonio DPS.
Fantastic, thanks. So we'll move into consensus on the minutes. So did everybody have a chance to review the minutes from our August 13th, 2024 meeting? Are there any modifications, issues with those minutes? If there are not, is there a consensus to adopt those? All right, seeing consensus and no objections, the minutes are adopted. So we will move into administrative closures. Over to Melissa Langbacho.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Melissa Langbacho for the record. Good morning, Chair and Corrections Policy Committee members. The department conducted professional standards reviews on 7 cases and is recommending administrative closure of the cases. Those cases are on a consent agenda for the committee's consideration. The department is seeking a vote to approve or overturn the recommendations, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion regarding the administrative closures in our packet?
Jennifer Cameron, I do have a conflict of interest with agenda item G, as I was an investigating individual in that case.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? If hearing none, if somebody wants to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Mark Warren, for the record, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Brian Steffen, I'll second the motion to approve.
Right, we are voting on a motion to approve the administrative closures. Chair English.
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron, did you want to vote?
Yeah,
Okay, so Vice Chair Cameron.
Aye.
Committee Member Aldrich.
Aye.
Committee Member Bourne.
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco.
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford.
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter.
Aye.
Committee Member Mays.
Aye.
Committee Member Steffen.
Aye.
And Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Okay, we will move into our cases. So the first case will be David Dalton, which is presented by Melissa Langbacha.
Thank you. Melissa Langbacha for the record. Good morning, Chair and Corrections Policy Committee members. The department opened a professional standards case for David Dalton after receiving an automated notification that he had been arrested and criminally charged with harassment and assault in the 4th degree. Dalton's charges stem from an incident at a tavern in which Dalton walked up to a man and hit him in the head. Dalton pled guilty and was convicted of harassment, misdemeanor charge. The charge for assault in the 4th degree was dismissed as part of a plea agreement. The department found that Dalton violated the board's moral fitness standards for misconduct by violating criminal law and obtaining a criminal disposition for harassment. Dalton also threatened or harmed the person by hitting him in the head. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So is there consensus to adopt the staff report as presented? No objections? Okay. There's consensus for that, and then we will open the case up now for discussion and identifying any aggravating or mitigating factors.
Mr. Chair, Nick Hunter for the record. Don't we have to take one more step before we get to aggravating and mitigating?
What step?
Well, we've adopted it, but then don't we have to move to the next point? Could be wrong here. That maybe I'm totally wrong. It wouldn't be that odd for Tuesday morning. It was vacation yesterday, I think, but not really.
Well, it's all combined now, so the discussion of the case is open because we have consensus to adopt the record. And so now we can discuss the case and then identify the aggravating and mitigating.
Okay, fair enough. Then I'll just aggravating factor is the inconsistencies in the statements provided by Mr. Dalton.
Josh Aldrich for the record. Aggravating factor is that the conduct resulted in a criminal violation.
Mike Hartford for the record. Aggravating factor is Mr. Dalton did not complete his probationary term and currently has a warrant for his arrest for not completing his community service. As of the writing of this report, anyway.
Jennifer Cameron, aggravating factors are that the behavior included either threatened or harmed another person.
Any other aggravating or mitigating? Melissa, can you read back what we have so far, please?
Yes. Melissa Langbasha for the record. I heard no mitigating factors, but did hear 4 aggravating ones. That he was inconsistent in the statements that he provided to law enforcement. The conduct resulted in a criminal charge. He has not completed the court requirements, and there's a warrant out at the time of the report. His behaviors included threats or harm to another person. Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So is there consensus around everything that we've identified thus far?
Yes.
So I'd open a discussion about whether or not there are moral fitness violations in this case. And our options are to affirm the moral fitness violations as identified by staff, to modify or make changes, or to negate or remove all of them. And that can be by motion.
Josh Aldridge for the record. I'd make a motion to affirm all of the recommendations made by staff.
Nick Hunter, for the record, I would second that. The identification of misconduct as the moral fitness violation, affirming that staff analysis.
Thank you.
We are voting on a motion to affirm the moral fitness violations as presented. Chair English.
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron.
Aye.
Committee Member Aldridge.
Aye.
Committee Member Boren.
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco.
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford.
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter.
Aye.
Committee Member Mays.
Aye.
Committee Member Stefan.
Aye.
And Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. So now the floor is open for discussion and a motion whether we should recommend action or no action in this case.
Jennifer Cameron, I recommend action.
Thank you.
Mike Hartford, for the record, I second that.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
We are voting on a motion to take action. Chair English.
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron.
Aye.
Committee Member Aldridge. Committee Member Boren.
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco.
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford.
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter.
Aye.
Committee Member Mays.
Aye.
Committee Member Stefan.
Aye.
And Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. So now floor is open for discussion about recommended length of ineligibility. So because we are dealing with misconduct, we can consider between 3 and 10 years. Just remember that on the record, please state why you're recommending this specific ineligibility period.
Mr. Chair, Aaron Reyes for the record, so we can determine between 3 to 10 years, is that correct?
That's correct.
Then I would move for 10 years because of behavior and conduct which is unbecoming of a certified officer and his blatant disregard to follow through with the commitments outlined to him by the Kirk County Circuit Court.
Thank you.
Chair is Brian Stefan, I second that. 10 years for the same reasons.
All right. Any further discussion?
We are voting on a motion for a 10-year ineligibility period. Chair English.
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron.
Aye.
Committee Member Aldridge.
Aye.
Committee Member Boren.
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco.
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford.
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter.
Aye.
Committee Member Mays.
Aye.
Committeemember Stefan?
Aye.
And Committeemember Reyes?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. All right, moving on to our next case, Brian Fonseca, presented by Ms. Owen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Corrections Policy Committee members. Melissa Langbotcher for the record. The department opened a professional standards case for Brian Fonseca to review the circumstances of his termination from the Department of Corrections. Mr. Fonseca's termination was related to an incident with adults in custody where he confiscated tobacco from an adult in custody and placed the tobacco in an unsecured desk drawer. When the tobacco was taken from the desk drawer by an adult in custody, he asked for help locating the tobacco from the other adults in custody. When an AIC came forward, Fonseca attempted to cover up his mistake by authoring a falsified conduct report and instructing the AIC to lie. The department found that Fonseca violated the board's moral fitness standards, finding that he was dishonest when he intentionally omitted information from a report, that he misused his authority by instructing adults in custody to be dishonest, and his mishandling of contraband, falsification of the report, and instructing an adult in custody to be dishonest together threaten the efficient operations of the Department of Corrections. The department is seeking a vote to affirm, modify, or negate the findings, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So is there consensus to adopt the staff report and move forward with this?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, seeing consensus, we will then open the case up for discussion. We can also identify any aggravating or mitigating factors.
Brian Stefan, aggravating factors. He was trained how to handle evidence and disregarded the training, handled it incorrectly. He lied about the contraband. He had told an AIC that he needed to lie about the contraband.
Mr. Chair, Aaron Reyes, for the record, an aggravating factor would be the falsification of a written document within the correctional environment compromise the safety and security of the institution.
The counter aggravating factor, couple of them. One is the clear lying by omission that was not supported by video evidence. The second one, slipped my mind. Statement made, aggravating factor statement made by Mr. Fonseca that he runs the, I'm gonna not direct quote him here, but he basically runs the unit how he sees fit versus how the policies of DOC are asking him to or requiring him to run that unit.
Mr. Chair, Brian Stefan, another aggravating. He looks like he made a deal to offer amnesty to the AICs that brought him back the tobacco which he had lost.
Mr. Chair, Aaron Reyes, for the record, he attempted to use his position and authority to his advantage by asking an AIC to be dishonest during the course of an investigation.
Any other factors? Melissa, can you recount what we have, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Melissa Lang Botcher for the record. I didn't hear any mitigating factors, but heard only aggravating ones. For aggravating, I have that he was trained on how to handle evidence and failed to follow the directions in the training. He lied about his conduct and told an adult in custody that they needed to lie. His falsification of a written report compromises the safety and security of the Department of Corrections institution. He lied by omission. It was clear that his lie by omission was not supported by video evidence. Statements by Finesca were that he runs the unit how he sees fit instead of by following the agency directions. He offered amnesty to an adult in custody for tobacco, which he had lost. He attempted to use his position to have an adult in custody lie during an investigation. Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any additional aggravating or mitigating?
Mr. Chair, Nick Gunter for the record. I would just add one more on there that Mr. Finesca demonstrated a pattern of behavior around the mishandling of evidence, and this was not the first time he had mishandled or improperly handled evidence.
Thank you. Is there consensus from the committee, everything that we've identified thus far? All right, seeing no objections, I would open the floor for discussion about whether there's a moral fitness violation. And in this case, DPSST has identified dishonesty, misuse of authority, and misconduct, so we can either affirm, modify, or negate by motion.
This is Brian Steffen, Chair. I move to affirm the allegations based on the report and all of the aggravating factors.
Thank you.
Mark Warren for the record, I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Erica, if you take.
We are voting on a motion to affirm the moral fitness violations as presented. Chair English.
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron.
Aye.
Committee Member Aldrich.
Aye.
Committee Member Boren.
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco.
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford.
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter.
Aye.
Committee Member Mays.
Aye.
Committee Member Steffen.
Aye.
And Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. The floor is now open to discuss a motion to recommend to the board whether they take action or no action in this case.
Chair, this is Brian Steffen. I move that we recommended the board they take action.
Josh Aldrich for the record, I second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
We are voting on a motion to take action. Chair English.
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron.
Aye.
Committee Member Aldrich.
Aye.
Committee Member Boren.
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco.
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford.
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter.
Aye.
Committee Member Mays.
Aye.
Committee Member Steffen.
Aye.
And Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Right, the floor is open now for discussion and a motion for recommended ineligibility period. So because we're dealing with all three, we can consider between 3 and lifetime due to the dishonesty component.
Chair Brian Steffen, I move that we recommend lifetime based on the report and all the aggravating factors.
Mike Hartford for the record, I second the lifetime and add that in his mitigation, he doesn't take responsibility for any of it. He blames his supervisors.
Thank you. Any additional discussion?
Voting on a motion for lifetime ineligibility period. Chair English.
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron.
Aye.
Committee Member Aldrich.
Aye.
Committee Member Bourne,
Aye.
Committee Member Casco.
Aye.
Committee Member Blackford,
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter,
Aye.
Committee Member Mays,
Aye.
Committee Member Stefan,
Aye.
and Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. All right, we will move on to Jesus Gutierrez, presented by Sarah Butcher.
Mr. Chair, that case got pulled from the agenda.
Did not see that.
DPSST learned that there was an open investigation that was still pending, so we're awaiting completion of that before we move forward with ours.
Okay. Then we will move on to Matthew Klimek.
Melissa Linklatcher for the record. Good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members. The department opened a professional standards case for Matthew Klimek after he was terminated from the Department of Corrections. The Department of Corrections requested assistance from the Department of Administrative Services to conduct an investigation into allegations surrounding criminal charges that were against Klimek. The investigation found that he falsified tier checks, misused state resources, sent photographs of women to his work email, failed to notify his employer of his arrest in writing, and sent a photo of an adult in custody that was in the hospital to another person over Facebook Messenger. The department found that he violated the board's moral fitness standards for misconduct and misuse of authority. Klimek used his position to harm an adult in custody for his benefit. He invoked a code of silence by telling a coworker not to disclose his conduct after he intentionally violated the Department of Corrections policies, which threatened or harmed the efficient operations of the Department of Corrections. Klimek's arrest threatened the efficient operations of the agency by bringing negative attention to the agency and the profession. He was inattentive to his duties, which threatened or harmed the adults in custody and others in the facility whose safety and security was his responsibility. Klimek displayed an intentional pattern of unwanted or excessive contacts. Klimek's pattern of behaviors which targeted a woman based on her sex is discriminatory and would lead an objectively reasonable person to believe that he is unable to perform the duties of a public safety professional in a fair and impartial manner. The department is seeking a vote to affirm, modify, or negate the department's findings, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chair, Aaron Reyes for the record. I'd like to, if I may, please announce a potential conflict, as I was the primary administrative investigator at the time on Mr. Matt Klimek and prior to becoming a superintendent.
Thank you. So, is there a consensus to adopt the staff report? Do we have enough information to move forward? All right, hearing no objections, then we will open this case up for discussion and identify any aggravating or mitigating factors.
Mr. Chair, Brian Steffen, Mr. Klimek invoked the code of silence, which is directly threatens the safety and security of the correctional institution. Which was aggravating, sorry.
Josh Alders for the record, aggravating circumstance. Mr. Klimek violated an adult in custody's privacy by sharing photographs of them in a hospital bed. Excuse me. Apparently, in his statement.
Mike Hartford for the record. The allegation that Mr. Klimek displayed an intentional pattern of unwanted or excessive communication and unwanted conduct seems abnormally light considering the investigation, as well as where he admitted that when the victim asked if, do you know what you did? He said, yes, I forced myself all over you. I touched you inappropriately and kept doing it. I forced myself on you to the point where you broke. It's particularly egregious.
Add English for the record. There was a continued there's a continued pattern of basically using his position to force his will on people to violate policies, so that it was not just a one-time thing. There's multiple things to unpack in this case, and so it's aggravating that it was multiple occasions.
Chair Nick Hunter for the record, aggravating factor or circumstance in this. Several times, Mr. Klimek put his own personal desires over the safety and security of the facility. There's use of the Skype system, messages going back and forth while he was supposed to be doing checks. Like I said, I'll use that one as my one specific example, but multiple times you could tell that his personal endeavors trumped significantly what he felt his obligation to the agency was, and specifically affecting the safety and security on multiple occasions.
Brian Steffen for the record, another aggravating, his falsification of the cure check log was also in pursuit of the communication, unwanted communication with others, which was just previously mentioned.
Jennifer Cameron, aggravating factor is that when you review his written mitigation, he really does not seem to take any acknowledgement for his behaviors and seems to justify his blame on others.
Any other aggravating or mitigating?
I would say an aggravating, Lori Prosper for the record, an aggravating is he put the public in safety because he was escorting an AIC in public and engaging in unauthorized activity while on duty.
So can you recall what you have?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I didn't hear any mitigating factors, only aggravating. For aggravating, I've reported that he invoked a code of silence which threatened the Department of Corrections. He violated an adult in custody's privacy by sharing photos of them while they were in the hospital for a laugh. He exhibited an intentional conduct pattern in which he forced himself upon a woman, which was particularly egregious. Let me rephrase that. He exhibited intentional conduct in which he forced himself upon a woman, which was egregious. There was a pattern of him forcing himself or his will upon others on multiple occasions. He put his personal desires over the safety and security of the Department of Corrections on multiple occasions. His personal endeavors trumped the agency's needs. His falsification of a tier check log benefited him over the agency's needs. In his mitigation, he didn't take accountability for his actions and placed the blame on others. He put the public at risk when escorting an adult in custody in public. Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other aggravating or mitigating? Is there a consensus about what the committee's identified thus far? All right, so floor is open for discussion about whether to recommend to the board that we affirm what DPSST has found, which in this case is misuse of authority and misconduct, so we can affirm, modify, or negate. And looking for a motion.
Mr. Chair, this is Brian Stefan. I move that we affirm.
Jennifer Cameron, I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Mike Hartford for the record, just touching on the dishonesty, the no substantial evidence to support a finding of dishonesty, the falsified report seems pretty clear that there was at least a certain level of dishonesty. I'm curious if the other members of the committee agree that perhaps we should modify the finding in the report to include dishonesty.
Mr. Chair, Nick Hunter for the record. I was just about to say the same thing. I think the statement where he is sending the text message and opening up that text message by making the statement for her not to share the information, I think there is a level of dishonesty in that statement alone that would satisfy that one being included in the moral fitness violations.
Q.
Melissa Langbach for the record. I think I heard two different dishonesty concerns, correct?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, Nick Hunter again, just to be very clear, the statement was, okay, promise you won't tell anyone. I showed you this. In and of itself, that is a dishonest statement because it is trying to protect through omission that information coming out.
And Mike Hartford for the record, my argument was that while I think the timestamp of the Skype conversation leads an objectively reasonable person to believe that he could not have completed that tier check within the amount of time between the text messages, I would have come to a different conclusion, I believe.
And Matt English for the record, that actually really stuck out to me as well, because I think there was maybe a 1 or 2 minute max time frame in there.
Nick, and I think it would be fair to say that a reasonable person looking at that would assume that that was a falsified record. And if we're looking at our percentages, I think you're 51% that was a falsified record in there based on his conversation on Skype.
Mr. Chair, Brian Stefan for the record, with a question. Since it's been moved and seconded, does that mean that we vote, if we think it should change, that we vote a no and then suggest amend instead of affirm?
Yeah, because I think because we have a second, we have to do that, and then we can go back. Well, who's seconded? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so yes.
Okay, so voting on a motion to affirm the moral fitness violations as presented, Chair English,
No.
Vice Chair Cameron,
No.
Committee Member Aldrich,
No.
Committee Member Boren,
No.
Committee Member Frasco,
No.
Committee Member Hartford,
No.
Committee Member Hunter,
No.
Committee Member Mays,
No.
Committee Member Stefan,
No.
and Committee Member Reyes.
No.
Motion passed. Or motion failed.
Okay, so as discussed, there has been dishonesty identified in this case in two different instances. So we looking for a motion basically to incorporate that. So it'd be a modification of what DFSSC has presented to us.
Josh Eldridge for the record, can I hear one more time what those two were?
Yeah, I have that the committee found that his statement, okay, promise you won't tell anyone, was dishonesty by omission, and that he falsified the tiered check logs, and that he could not have completed the checks while using Skype Messenger at the same time.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Brian Stefan, I move to amend to include dishonesty based on the discussion that we just had.
Thank you.
Mike Harper, for the record, I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
We are voting on a motion to modify the moral fitness violations to include dishonesty. Chair English?
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron?
Aye.
Committee Member Aldrich?
Aye.
Committee Member Boren?
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco?
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford?
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter?
Aye.
Committee Member Mays?
Aye.
Committee Member Stefan?
Aye.
And Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. So the floor is open now for discussion and a motion to recommend to the board whether we take action or no action. In this case, they take action.
Josh Eldridge for the record, I would move to recommend that the board take action.
Mark Warren, for the record, I second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
We are voting on a motion to take action. Chair English?
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron?
Aye.
Committee Member Aldrich?
Aye.
Committee Member Boren?
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco?
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford?
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter?
Aye.
Committee Member Mays?
Aye.
Committee Member Stefan?
Aye.
And Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. The floor is open now for discussion and recommendation of ineligibility periods. Because we're dealing with dishonesty, we can consider between 3 years and lifetime recommendation.
Mr. Chair, Brian Stefan, for the record, I was giving everybody a second because last time I was a little bit quick. But I had moved that we recommend lifetime.
And can you state on the record why?
Based on the discussion we had and the report.
Mike Harper, for the record, I second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Voting on a motion for a lifetime ineligibility period. Chair English?
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron?
Aye.
Committee Member Aldrich?
Aye.
Committee Member Boren?
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco?
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford?
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter?
Aye.
Committee Member Mays?
Aye.
Committee Member Stefan?
Aye.
And Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. So you can review the article nomination piece.
Yes, I will.
All right. We will turn it over to Captain McAlpin.
Thanks, Chair. Captain McAlpin for the record. I just want to bring to this committee's attention that the applicant review committee, for those who may not be aware of it, that was created, I think, a couple of years ago to timely address those individuals hired that had a criminal conviction prior to their law enforcement experience, but we needed to vet it out to see if the committee, thus the board, would take action before we try and let them into one of the basic academies or that discipline. Currently, the makeup of the ARC is 2 from telecommunications, 2 from corrections, 2 from police, and 1 representative of the board, the public member. At this time, we do have Aaron Reyes and Ted Langley finishing their first 1-year term. And these are 1-year terms. And they can be given a second one if they so desire, or we can then open it up to anybody else on the corrections committee that is in their second term. And so in this case, to give you more information, Aaron Reyes is available to
Yes, ma'am.
do this again. Ted Langley is not here to ask whether or not he would be willing to. And then that opens it up for you, Chair, also Mark Boren and John Frost are all in their second year, if my data is correct. So I will leave it up to you to either volunteer for another go or, which is always greatly appreciated. Again, we meet monthly on this. Sometimes we do go a month or 2 without, but these are a little bit more timely. They're generally conducted online. The packets are pretty light as far as what you're used to here. Happy to answer any questions, or if anybody's willing to continue or try anew.
Mr. Chair, Aaron Reyes, if allowed, I would continue my second term.
That is much appreciated.
Thank you.
And Mark Bourne, for the record, I would be willing to serve also.
Great. So should we, since Ted's not here, want to check with him about what he wants to do?
Yeah, the only thing is it has to be done by the board, the committee, right, as far as any official approval, is that right?
Correct. The
Yeah.
committee, Jennifer Howell, for the record, the committee nominates and by majority vote appoints.
Right.
So it just has to.
Consensus good enough, Jennifer?
Vote.
They actually vote, okay.
So, Matt English for the record, so Mark Warren and Aaron Reyes have both agreed to serve on the ARC. Are there any other nominations? All right, hearing none, I would move to close nominations and look for a motion to approve Aaron Reyes and Mark Warren for the applicant review committee.
Mr. Chair, just a quick question to kind of for the record. Were we looking for additional people to be nominated, or are we good with the 2 that were nominated? Not voting on the 2. Does 2 satisfy the need that DPSST has, or was there a need for additional?
Sheriff Kathleen Huffman for the record, both positions for the corrections expired this month, and so these 2 would satisfy the positions that we need representation from the Corrections Policy Committee.
Thank you.
Josh Eldridge for the record, do you need separate motions or one motion for both?
I think we do one motion for both.
Josh Eldridge for the record, I would make a motion to approve Aaron Reyes and Mark Warren for appointment to the ARC.
Thank you. Matt English, second.
All right, we are voting on a motion to nominate both Mark Bourne and Aaron Reyes to the applicant review committee. Chair English?
Aye.
Vice Chair Cameron?
Aye.
Committee Member Aldrich?
Aye.
Committee Member Bourne?
Aye.
Committee Member Frasco?
Aye.
Committee Member Hartford?
Aye.
Committee Member Hunter?
Aye.
Committee Member Mays?
Aye.
Committee Member Steffen?
Aye.
And Committee Member Reyes.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Superintendent, thank you for your willingness to serve a second term.
My pleasure,
Thanks
Mr.
for
Chair.
stepping up. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll move to agency update.
I'm gonna turn it over to Kathy Fink for any updates.
Thank you. Kathy Fink for the record. Just wanted to let you know that my team continues to work on outreach to educate in public safety with regard to all the things that they do, which is vast. And so currently, one of our team members is making some connections with someone that she's had contact with for a long time at the DOC trying to coordinate maybe some sort of a virtual and a hybrid virtual and in-person training workshop type thing so that we can talk about all things to include hiring, scheduling, certifications, compliance with reviews for class notebooks, since a lot of training your training is happening at your facilities, as well as adding additional components with regard to the moral fitness cases. So that's where we're at. Anything else unless you have questions?
And Catherine McAlpine for the record. Other updates is the moral fitness work group continues to meet. We're at the tail end, I'd like to think, maybe 1 or 2 meetings. Jennifer's worked diligently on summarizing everything, all the vast topics that we've gone through, and we'll present to the work group some of the recommendations they made, make sure we had it right, clarify anything. So we're hoping that there's just 1 or 2 more meetings, and then we may be coming to the board with some recommendations. So again, appreciate, Mark is on that, all the work that moral fitness, that has been a marathon, not a sprint, and definitely appreciate the thoughtfulness and the discussions that go on in there. Sam, anything that you think of?
No.
Okay. I think that concludes the update. We are going into holiday mode, and I know that we have some closures at the end of December, or they may or may not impact if you have any students here. But in that, we'll be operating business as usual. And that concludes the update.
Great. Any questions for the SST team? Anything for the good of the order? All right, hearing nothing, we are adjourned. Our next meeting, February 11th, 2025, 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.